Welcome to another episode of Politically Handicapped. I am Dave, affectionately also known as Dad, and this is my son, David.
How's it going?
And we are politically handicapped, in addition to other conditions that we are afflicted by. So today is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Welcome to the new year.
Yep.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of our viewers and listeners. We are glad to be back. We are back bigger and better than ever, having learned a great deal from our episodes in 2025. We come to you with a little bit of a new format, or I should say at least a little bit more order to what it is that we're doing.
A little bit of organization.
And we're hoping that you guys will appreciate it, enjoy it. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave comments in the comment section. We do take them seriously. And at this point, I am able to respond to each and every one of them personally, which I greatly enjoy. And I will match your level of nastiness if that's where you want to go with this.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to start off on a hostile note, but
that was pretty hostile.
You know, it is politics. And again, you know, what we do here at Politically Handicapped is we are looking at the prediction markets, such as Kalshi and Polymarket and any of the others that are out there. And what we're doing is looking at world events, politics, culture, and trying to give you some insights about how you should be making your bets on those platforms. So with that, Dave, anything else you want to add to general?
No, pretty much sums it up.
Excellent. So
ready to roll.
All right, let's do it. You go first.
All right, let's start off with our new section called The Ledger.
Yes.
Working title, I think, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so go into some history of our recent bets.
Sure.
I'll start off with a fun one that wasn't really politics, but top U.S. Netflix show this week, which was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose Stranger Things, and that was a really easy bet. I'm not sure why.
What happened?
Well, obviously, yeah. I mean, I got in at an 80% chance. But like, of course, Stranger Things was going to be number one, so it just seemed.
But can you say so? You say that, but as I understand it, it got panned from the critics. Like they were really upset.
Yeah,
many people were upset. Apparently, it's taken a very woke turn in this season. Has that shown itself in the episodes that have been released?
I mean, I guess it was woke. I mean, they introduced a gay character like last season, and then they played it up a little more. And I'm like, I don't think that's like woke.
Yeah, just media hype.
But really, that wasn't really the issue. I don't think anyone. I mean, if you really cared about that, I guess that's
certainly
like,
I don't.
Yeah, that's your own issue. I mean, that's not really something I cared about. But what was weird was like all the inconsistencies, I guess. So everyone was mad about that.
See, that's a bigger issue with a show like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
If they're going to start, not paying attention to the past episodes and what it is that happened. I assume that's what you mean by inconsistencies.
Yeah, it was just random like mistakes, and then everyone was like, they're all saying that a new episode is going to come out today.
Wow.
After the finale.
Excellent.
A secret episode.
Wow. They're really picking up on like Mario
because
Brothers.
of all these mistakes.
Right? Didn't Mario Brothers used to do stuff like that, or Mario games? They would have like a bonus show. You know, it doesn't matter. You won the bet?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. Do you want me to do something now?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if any of mine are as fun as yours. I did do last week, and again, this is a recap of recent bets and then the results. I did say that Trump would say fake news in some public format. And to me, that was a free. There was no topic. I think it was just the entire week. If he spoke those words and it was captured somewhere on the news, and I thought that was a free money bet. To be quite honest with you, I lost. So, the 1 week that Trump decides not to say fake news, and I don't know if he's watching the show, maybe that's why he's just breaking my chops because he wants me to keep coming back. I'm not sure. I'm just going to go with the same theme. What will Trump say this week? And I went with, it was a combo, crypto and or Bitcoin. And I assumed that he was going to say crypto or Bitcoin because there was going to be some crash in the Bitcoin market and it would drop below $200. Mm-hmm. So I figured he'd have to comment on it and probably promote his own coin. Right? Yeah. But no, he didn't say that.
That one's usually a losing bet.
Yeah, I mean,
they always throw that one in there, and it's always got like a decent percentage, and it almost always loses.
Well, we're going to see. I think this week is probably the week that we're going to maybe see the decline of Bitcoin, and if that, and I mean real decline, not like percentage points. I'm talking about
really
double digit, drops, maybe greater than 30-40%. But that there's no right now. I couldn't find a market for that. Anyway, what else? What else are you looking at from
So,
your ledger?
Trump's meeting with Netanyahu,
Yeah, how'd that go?
which I think we placed these alive last time.
I think we did.
They all hit. First, Steve/Jared.
Yep.
I don't know which one he said because I didn't watch.
So it's either one, right? It was
But
Steve
what does that mean?
Witkoff
Like,
or Jared.
Does that mean he like says something because he's like in the room and he's like, Steve, like.
I guess that could be it, but it's also because he loves to promote those two, especially because
Yeah.
Jared is his son-in-law.
Yeah.
And he loves putting in people's face that he's not really a paid member of the administration, but he's super effective at what he does. Yeah. What else you got?
Middle East.
Just the words Middle East.
Yeah. Which
Talking
seems-
to the Prime Minister of Israel, all he had to do was say Middle East.
Yeah.
And that one won.
Yeah.
Shocking.
That one actually.
And I lose fake news.
That was only at 75% too, so it was not a bad payout for.
There you go.
And then the 8 war.
The what?
8 war.
War? The word war?
8 war. The combination of the two. It has to be 8 war.
Now, what was the significance of him saying? Why would he ever? I mean, that must have been like 1,000%. I mean, why would any person in their world say 8?
It was
in
at
their life?
50%, and it did hit.
It hit. He said
Yeah.
8 and war at the same time.
Yeah, he said 8 war.
Is that because he speaks in an
So,
odd language, or
It's this
Is it making
weird
fun of
thing
him?
where he brags about the wars that he has stopped.
and there were 8
So
of
now
them?
we're at 8, I think, or we might be at 9 right now. I don't
Right.
know because it changes each week. Each week he's like adds on one. And so I don't know where we're at, but we were at 8 war at that point. So
Now, does his actions in Venezuela act like as a -1 because he's starting a war?
so now he's at
Which, by
back
the way,
to
he's
7.
not. Sorry to interrupt you, but he's not starting a war. We'll talk more about it, but I'm just being funny. You know? Yeah. So what? Okay.
you
So
got?
here's what I got. Oh, right into Venezuela. You ready? So a while ago, I placed 2 bets on Nicolas Maduro,
Yep.
who was the former president of Venezuela,
That he is.
illegitimate according to both the Biden administration and the Trump administration. So there was a bipartisan agreement that the man was an illegitimate dictator, and both administrations acknowledged that he was a narco-terrorist. And he's been indicted in the United States under both the Trump administration and the Biden administration. And the bets that I took, there were 2. One was that he would be out before the end of 2025. Now, I placed that bet when we started assembling a great amount of firepower. I think a quarter of all U.S. military assets are in the Caribbean right now. So I placed that one that he'd be out before the end of 2025, and I lost. Right? And Christmas didn't snow, but it snowed the day before and the day after. It's just incredible. Like it's just like my parlays.
Yep.
My sports parlays. I'm always one away. However, I did also bet that Nicolas Maduro, the illegitimate president of Venezuela, though I do have to make a disclaimer, he was in federal court yesterday. And when the judge was explaining to him our process, which he was shocked by, apparently, that we have rights here and things, that we can actually not be tortured upon arrest, he blurted out, "I am still the president of my country," which I thought was kind of cute.
It is
You know what I mean? Here's this guy, a strong man, screaming about, come get me, come get me. Then they come and get him, and he's in handcuffs with his wife in federal court, this alleged narco-terrorist, and he's sitting there going, what are you talking about? I'm still the president of my country. Hilarious. However, under the rules of Kalshi, he is considered to have been out before June 2026, which I bet and I won.
Nice.
Bang! There it is. There it is. So
I wonder how they define that, though.
it was defined that if he is arrested by the DEA and the United States Army and brought back to the city of New York and put into federal court in handcuffs with his wife, that it resolves to yes. And it was a yes. I turned $10 and $20. Not a lot of money, but double my money.
Yeah, it's pretty
okay?
good.
That's good. That's good.
It
And
is.
it's also the side benefit is apparently, and again, allegedly, this man is a narco-terrorist. They have a torture chamber in Caracas that some of the liberal media was upset that those people hadn't been released from this torture chamber simultaneous with Maduro being arrested. But who knows, whatever. But anyway, side benefit to my bet, and possibly because I manifested it so I could double my money, this terrible dictator, narco-terrorist has been arrested, is being brought to justice right here in the United States of America. And my hope is that he is not released at the request of our new mayor in New York City, Zohran Mamdani, who has indicated that Maduro should be released immediately, reinstated as the president. I'm sorry, this is what I understood. If I'm making a mistake, my apologies. But I believe that he is, and his folks are calling that he be released. And he called the president, said that he was briefed about this international matter.
Why?
Well, that's the question that was asked of him
in his city.
No, I don't know. But the question that I asked him later was, when you said you were briefed, do you have federal security clearance? And he said, no, I do not. And they said, well, who briefed you? And he said, my people. So I'm assuming it's the woman from the tenancy department that said that individual property ownership in New York City is no longer going to be respected.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we're going to get that warm collective feeling about ourselves, which, by the way, I fully support. So I think that it'd be great if we could all live well
communes.
And together, and property ownership being sort of an optional circumstance depending on where you live. I think that's great.
Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
awesome.
I heard Robert De Niro moved out of the city, by the way.
Did he?
This is what I heard. I didn't see it. I was told this. So if I'm wrong, it's because I'm making it up. But I'm not. It's what I was told, is that he is fed up with because they want to tax him more, and he decided to move out. And I'm going to see if our guy can get, if you could get him to maybe just call in, or even a phone call, not a Zoom, that would be great, just to see what his side of it is.
So
okay, thanks. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm going on and on as I always do. You got to keep me honest here, Dave.
So I guess the last one I had was much less involved in that. I just bet on whether the announcers were going to say Tom Brady's name during the Tampa Bay Bucks game, and they didn't.
They did not,
Yeah.
which is kind of shocking, right? And now Tampa Bay, did they win the game?
They did,
And are they headed to a playoff?
but they're not headed to. Well, they were at the moment they were going to be, but another team had to lose in order for them to actually get in.
So at the time of the game, when the game resolved,
Yeah.
they were still eligible to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, which is why I thought.
Sure. Well, that's why I was saying it, because
Yeah.
I would think that they would be like, we haven't been to the playoffs since Tom Brady was the
Exactly.
quarterback. If that's true, I don't even know if that's true. I mean, I know he went into the playoffs and won the Super Bowl his first season out of New England. And I think the Patriots, and I love the Patriots, you know that. But I think under Bill Belichick's tutelage, after 20 years of winning with Tom Brady, they came in like last place. The Patriots are close to it.
yeah.
And again, I'm thank God the Patriots are doing fantastic this year. I am so happy. My family is so happy. Even though we're from New York, we love the Patriots. And Drake May, apparently, I'm supposed to say that I love you. My family loves you. And if you go to the Super Bowl, if we can get box tickets, that would be fantastic.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have any other history ledger bets?
Of course. Well, I mean, I, of course, had how low will Bitcoin Cash get this year?
Yeah. So
What's Bitcoin Cash? Is that different than Bitcoin?
It is. Yeah.
You see this? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, Brian Green Poker was right. I do not know what I'm talking about. Can you explain that to me, please, quickly?
It's just another crap coin. But
somehow, it's not related to Bitcoin?
Somehow related to Bitcoin. I don't know that much about it. But
Well, that was the one I bet to go below $200, if that makes everybody feel
that
better.
does make a lot more sense.
I see that now. See, this is a little trickery on behalf of Kalshi. Not that I'm upset with you, Kalshi, but I'm just saying you could be a little clearer about that, because that's an unusual. Anyway, I bet the Bitcoin Cash was going to go below 200, which, by the way, means that if I can get the bet that Bitcoin itself will drop to $200, below $200 by July, that would be a huge return. It would have to be.
It'd be
enormous.
the most incredible return ever.
Oh
The
my
whole
God!
world
If
would
there
bet
is
against
anyone
it.
out there that wants to take that action with me on Kalshi, please contact me. I will call our guys at Kalshi, and I will tell them to put that bet up just so we can bet against each other. Minimum $10,000. Minimum $10,000. Meaning that's how much I'm going to put up. You're going to pay whatever the odds are that Bitcoin's going to drop below $200. Brian Green Poker, come on, boy. You told me what you were going to do. Put up the nuts, baby. Go all in. You got the nuts. Anyway.
So those odds make a lot more sense now.
Yes,
with
they do.
That
And
context.
it troubled me, honestly, for a couple of weeks there. But anyway, I'm sticking to my position that the Bitcoin proper, is that what I have to refer to it as? Bitcoin proper is going to drop below $200 by July. We don't need to keep talking about it. But I lost that bet anyway, because Bitcoin Cash, whatever it is, also did not drop below $200 by the end of 2025. I got one more. Who will President Trump pardon in 2025? We talked about this last time, but I had to wait till the end of 2025 for it to lose, which it did. And that was, I said Joe Biden would be.
That would have been fun.
Well, but the reason I told you my rationale last time, I think, is that I thought that he would do it to humiliate Joe Biden, right? By putting him out there for a pardon implies that somehow he could be charged with a crime. And I'm not saying that Joe Biden committed a crime. There are other people that are saying it. Look anywhere you want except CNN, MSNBC, MS Now, the New York Times, Washington Post, and you will see that there are folks that do believe that the Biden administration had corruption within it. Anyway, that's our ledger bets. Let's move along. We are now in...
No, you deleted my...
I did?
Oh, no, you didn't. Okay.
Why would I get blamed for that? There's other people that have been in that document.
I'm all in.
That's what I'm saying.
Our
we are in.
bets.
I'm all in. What do you got?
All right. So, my current bet, which is still open at the moment, I actually don't know when this is going to resolve, so maybe you can tell me. Who will Trump nominate as the Fed chair? And I have Kevin Hassett. Now, it's going to be a Kevin. It's just a matter of which one.
Really? I wondered. See, that would be a really cool bet, too, if they would just put first names and anybody that has that name that gets...
Yeah, well, if that would be 90% versus the field. But, yeah, so I've got Kevin Hassett.
Can I ask why?
I was in the barbershop, and I saw him on the... shout out to Gary's Royal Barbershop on Merrimack Avenue. And he was doing an interview. And I was
Is he a good-looking man?
I was like, if he's doing an interview, then it's got to be... Actually, I think Warsh is better looking, but... I can't see his picture; it's too small. But he was doing an interview, and I'm like, it was already at 40% versus 40%. I was like, if he's doing an interview,
40%
might have this in the bag.
I mean, at 40% versus another guy with 40%, you probably had a 50-50, right, between the two of them?
Yeah.
Now, I just wonder, though, are there any women that are up for the position based on what Kalshi's predictions are saying?
No, I mean, not anything of significance.
Right, well, listen, you know what? I tell you the truth, that probably makes sense, right? So then, what else did you have? Anything else?
No, that's it. But do you know when that's going to resolve? Do you know when they're actually going to choose the Fed chair?
To tell you the truth, I don't. I think our guy, what's his name, Powell, is the current guy. I think his term expires March, April, May, maybe. I think May is probably the most likely date.
All right.
So we should figure that out and maybe take a further analysis on that, because I might have a couple of choices based on some of the things I know about some of those folks from a time before you were born.
My next thing was Greenland.
Ooh, hold on to Greenland, because I know you got it. Yeah, I want you to run through all of them all at once.
Okay, yeah.
All right, cool. So I've got a couple that I want to revisit. These are my bets, current bets pending. One is who will be charged with a federal crime before 2027. So that means by the end of 2026. I have Tim Walz. Now, interestingly, that those odds have actually dropped by 26% since I made the bet. And some people say, well, that's odd because he's resigning from his governorship. Or running for governor, not resigning. I'm sorry. He has decided not to rerun, or to because of the scandal. Though he says he has done nothing wrong, and I believe him, and I do. He seems very credible.
Yeah, he does. He seems great,
right? And he also seems like, again, that he's the guy you want by your side in a bar fight.
Oh yeah,
because he's gonna protect you, and he's gonna make sure that you don't get beat up.
Did you see that thing he did when he chose not to rerun?
Which part, where he blamed Trump?
No, where he did this thing where he pointed.
Really? Who was he pointing at?
Next person to come to the stage. It was really weird. It was super.
Well, as I think I said the last time, that when you have a guy at the executive level of government, right, governors, even like lieutenant governors, presidents, vice presidents, the heads of Congress, that when they're when there's a scandal of that nature, very rarely are they charged. But they have to humiliate themselves by either resigning or, in this case, not running again.
Yeah.
And that's why the possibility of prosecution has dropped tremendously. And if I were to make a bet today, I would not bet that Tim Walz be charged with a crime.
Why don't you hedge out?
Ooh, I wonder if I can. I'll look at that. That's a great idea. See, I got to remember those cash outs. And we should have that in as a category, like cash outs. Okay, keeping things moving along. I also want to revisit, and this is a great one. What party will win governor in Minnesota? And I had chosen GOP, okay? And I see you shaking your head no, but I'm just going to let you know something. Couple of things. One is when I made the bet for GOP, it was primarily driven by the fact that I paid it like 200 to 300% odds, right?
Sure.
So I was like, I put a little bit on it, and I can triple my money, triple my money if I remember the odds correctly. But now that this Walz thing, he's resigning, okay? So he's out. I think Amy Klobuchar, who is the senator, the U.S. senator for Minnesota, they're making some kind of backdoor deal where she's going to run for governor, and apparently she was going to appoint Walz to be the senator, which, I mean, that's insane. Yeah. But I think what's happening is that scandal in Minnesota, which we talked ad nauseum about last time, is spiraling out of control. Okay, and it's now popping up in Boston and L.A. and New York apparently. So I think that scandal is going to engulf the Democratic Party, specifically in Minnesota. But I think that's going to turn a lot of voters off, or at least make them have apathy, and they're not going to even go to vote. Like a lot of Democrats could be like, I don't want to be a part of this. Not this time. I already did enough damage. I'm going to leave this alone.
No chance.
But also don't forget, I would assume that, and again, I only say Somali because they are Somalians. I assume most of the Somalians are going to leave, right? Because they're going to be concerned about being engulfed in this.
I don't think so. I've been doing this for a while. I don't know.
It's only gotten federal attention recently.
Yeah.
I mean, the woman who coordinated the original food bank issue, I think she's serving time now, and they just took like her Porsche and some other assets, and she's like, hey, what am I doing in jail? What about Tim Walz? He knew about this. He knew this was going on, and nobody did anything until the feds came in. So I think that you're going to see a lot of people scurrying. As I said, I don't know if there's a market.
I don't think that's going to change who wins.
Well, sure, less
governor.
Democrat. That's a big portion of the Democrat. Why do you think they
How many
pandered to
could there
them?
be?
Huh? 80,000. So Minnesota's a big state, but I don't know. Do you think they have more than 10 million people? 80,000 is big. Half the people, more than half the people won't vote. Right, so you're down to 5 million, 4 million, whatever it is, and then you got 100,000 that aren't going to vote. Most of these elections now are within, a margin of error.
In their state, is that the case?
I have no idea.
Has it ever actually went?
You know what? I guess I'm just counting on the people of Minnesota to do the right thing.
I think you're counting on the wrong people.
I'm manifesting it. We'll see. Hey, listen. You can bet against me, pal.
I will.
Do it. My God, you're sitting here arguing with me.
What's the odds at right now? What's the odds at right now? Let me see what the odds are.
I don't know. You look it up while I'm going, because I want to get through this, because I know we need to keep things going. And what are we talking about? My bets. Oh, okay. Then we also have who will lead Venezuela at the end of 2026. I'm saying the current vice president who is in charge. Her name is Delcy Rodriguez. And even though she's been at odds with the Trump administration's actions of arresting an indicted narco-terrorist dictator, much like many of the Democratic leadership in our country, I believe that she holds on. I think that everyone's going to agree that they need that stability. It's why they didn't there's other people in that country, in that government, who were indicted. They're leaving them alone until this can be resolved. What else? We've got. I'm looking at your bets. I'm going to do one more, and then you go, please. World leaders out before 2027. Ali Khamenei of Iran. I took this bet. It's pending. It was a good bet. I want to say it was like 27% yes. So it's probably paying, what, 3/4. And the reason I took it was because the people of Iran seem to be fed up with the theocracy, dictatorship, and
aren't they doing like $7 to each person now per day?
Yes, they're taking the Mamdani approach, which makes sense, right? Given certain cultural similarities between Iran and now the mayor of New York City, and they're going to give $7 to each citizen. It's like 80 million citizens. So it's not like, even though it's only $7 per person, it's a big overall nut, you know? And is it annually, a month? I don't know what it is, but apparently they think that's enough to persuade these people to stop rioting and taking over their country. I think there's a city that has fallen now to the protesters, which was what I was watching last night. And that's why I went and made this bet right away, because I don't think Iran can sustain itself. We know that the United States went in, even though we were told Iran is a big, bad, nuclear almost power, and don't screw with them, and then the Israelis are blowing up their Hezbollah pagers in their pockets. The fact that they had pagers is incredible. So I think that Iran is really has no capacity to govern other than the fear that was put into us by the media and the elite. And I'm not sure if that's true. I'm just making that up, but I think it's true. And they're gonna fall. That's what Ali Khamenei. I know I can go on and on, but I'm just saying. Ali Khamenei,
things are definitely trending that direction.
It is. Now it is. But when I made the bet, I believe it was at 27%. It's probably at 100 now, because it's probably fallen by the time we're talking here. Anyway, Dave, please do your Greenland stuff, because you've got a lot going on with Greenland. I like it.
So as everyone might be aware, there's been a lot of talk about Greenland again.
Why?
Right? Since 2019.
What's going on in Greenland?
Stint. Well, Trump thinks we need to take over Greenland.
Take it
or
over?
we need to have some of it, at least, for national security purposes. Wow. There also happens to be like a good amount of resources there too. So
I've heard.
So that part's pretty cool, which also brings me back to Venezuela. But anyway,
we can talk about that later.
So now there's a few different bets you can take on Kalshi. So the first is, will Trump buy at least part of Greenland? The next one is, will the U.S. take control of any part of Greenland? The next one, will Greenland vote for independence this year? And then the fourth one, will the United States acquire new territory, which obviously is not exactly Greenland related, but you get the point. So I guess my first question to you would be, will Trump buy at least part of Greenland? I think that is a bad bet, just so we're clear. It's not a bad bet. You should put yes for all of them. Is my opinion.
I tend to agree with that as a broad-based, hey, let's do this because the wins will offset any potential losses. But if we break down the first two propositions here, will Trump buy at least part of Greenland versus will the U.S. take any part of Greenland? Now, I want to be clear. In the first question where it says Trump, they are talking about him doing it on behalf of the United States and not him as a private.
I would hope so.
But I think we should read the rules because I'm sure that Trump could buy a little. If he buys a house in Greenland, I think that would have to resolve to yes.
Yeah, I think it's on behalf of the U.S. For sure.
Yeah, but I know that's the way it's actually worded. Yeah. So I'm just going to say to Kalshi, you really need to make sure. I know you put it in the rules, but I think you should be clear with that up front. Anyway, looking at those two propositions, will Trump buy a piece of Greenland or control any part of Greenland? The buying thing is a little weird, and maybe he does. Because in the end, I don't think he's going to use military force.
No.
Even though Stephen Miller is not taking it off the table, which made Jake Tapper crazy last night or the day before. So I do think that there's a possibility that to save face and for Greenland to save face and kind of tone this thing down, we buy the northern ridge of Greenland, because that's really what we're concerned about, right? We want control of the Arctic for military and protection purposes. So it's possible that could happen. So I agree with you. That's a yes, just as a safety net. Will we take control of any part of Greenland?
That would technically be control.
So you're saying that it defaults to yes. If one is yes, two is yes.
Yeah, I think
agree.
So.
I agree
no, I mean, if we bought it.
Yeah.
Then,
that's what I'm saying.
But yes, once the first one goes, the second one's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one with, will Greenland vote for independence this year? So the only way that this happens is if Greenland votes for independence.
Mm-hmm.
They say yes. That means that they want us to come in and buy them.
Yes.
Right? So then we come in and we pay them.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be like Louisiana Purchase, though. Like, that's a different, I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be like, here's a cash sum.
You don't think so?
I think it's going to be an infrastructure, and it's going to be also like universal-based income type thing, where we pay each citizen. So there's only like 55,000 people.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So just talk about what Iran was doing, right?
Yep.
$7 to
you think $7 to do it USD?
No. But it's 55,000 people. So what you do is you offer them like like an annual thing, or guaranteed income, like literally a little guaranteed.
Don't they get that from
income.
Denmark already? Isn't Denmark socialist like that?
I mean, do they give them enough? Because we can give them way more, and we can promise to take their whole infrastructure and rebuild this place.
Yeah.
It becomes a place where Americans can go now, right? So we have an interest in making their infrastructure nice, and we take everything. So that's what I think is, you could have a situation where, because you have to have them vote to get rid of Denmark, though, because Denmark's not going to allow this.
Absolutely not. But my understanding is that there's a little bit of shenanigans going on with Denmark, that they're trying to tell us that the people of Greenland are absolutely dead set against joining the U.S. But I know that there's been some independent reporting that says that when you talk to the people in Greenland, they're like, first of all, sure, we'd love to be able to go to the United States without visas or passports and all that. And sure, we would love if they bought. I mean, Greenland is huge, right? Huge, right? And I don't know what its size is, but I think it's like the size of the entire Texas or Northeast or something like that. And there's only 55,000 people there. I think the only concern that they would have would be, they still probably have in their head the environmental climate climate change problem. And I think that that might be a concern of theirs, that we come in there. If you think about a lot of military infrastructure, probably nuclear type stuff is going to be going on up there, and a lot of ships coming in and out. But I think if you said to them, listen, what would you pay for something like that? You probably pay tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
Right? So if we get away with paying each individual person there $1 million, U.S. dollars, it'd be 50 tax-free, because Denmark's not going to be involved anymore, because it's going to be independent, and they're going to say, we don't get taxed on this.
Yeah.
Right? So that would be $55 million. You got 55,000, what was I saying? Am I saying it wrong? 550?
think we have 550 million.
That's great. Still a bargain.
Still not bad.
Yeah, it's less than the school budget of New York City. So we get now we have 55,000 millionaires who they don't have to buy the gold passport to come, the golden visa, and they can come back and forth, and they're spending that $1 million here back in the United States, which is now their home country. I think it's a win-win-win. And Denmark can, I don't know, go about their business. Why do they want Greenland in the first place?
Yeah, it's really weird.
I also think that Greenland wants us to take them, to acquire them, whatever the terminology is, because they're jealous of Iceland. I mean, Iceland, which is much smaller and much colder. You know, the reason they named it Greenland was to trick people to going there, so as if it wasn't cold. But Iceland actually has had a thriving tourist industry.
It has.
And I don't know if you know that they eradicated Down syndrome
I heard
there,
about
which
that.
is an interesting concept of how they did it. But yeah, so Greenland, I think, wants the tourist dollars, and if we could travel there with our passport and not have any kind of no exchange rate, nothing, it's a win-win-win.
I do think we will take control though of some part of it. I think the northern ridge would make a lot of sense, and yeah, I think using saying you're going to use military force and then offering a payment is a really good way to, like, you know, I'm going to punch you in the face. All right, no, I'm not. I'm gonna here's some money.
Yeah. I think you're actually. I mean, you're sure if someone's going to offer me money or get punched in the face, I'm taking the money.
Yeah.
So. Good point. Very good point. What else you got?
That's it for my current bets.
Okay, so I think for current bets, I'm just going to go with the one other one that I've got here. Well, two, real quick. Government shutdown on January 31st, 2026, because I guess it's when the budget ends and they have to renew. Like, remember when they shut the government down last year for a little while? I put no. I think that's a free money bet, because no one's talking about it, and I don't think anyone can tolerate it at this point.
No way.
So I made that bet, and as I said, I think it's a free money bet. And then finally, Trump's approval rating on Friday, January 9th. That is 2 days from today. I put that his approval rating will be at 44.4% or above for generally, not party specific. It's high. But I'm telling you, with he's coming off a win with Venezuela. You know, everyone's had to back off of their criticism. Apparently, I don't know, 84% of Americans agree that this guy should. No, it's less, 70-something percent. That includes Dems and Independents and Republicans. Believe this guy should be tried in federal court for being a narco-terrorist. So I think that's going to work. It's a 300% return.
It's pretty good.
Which is what really attracted me to it. It's a small bet.
Yeah, I might have to place that.
Yeah. So that is, again, that's our bet of the week. Can we do that?
Sure.
It's a long shot of the week. Which is Trump's approval rating on Friday, January 9th, 2 days from today, will be at 44.4 or above. Since you'll probably see this after that date, even though it's our bet, and we're going to make it, and we're going to win. All right, Dave, we're moving on.
All right.
Do you have more there? What's going on?
Our next section is Don't Mention It, which is our upcoming mentions plays. And by the way, just for people who don't know what mentions plays are, it is when there's a live event happening and someone's speaking, and you're betting on them to mention something. So
real quick, can you bet against them saying it also?
Yeah, you can. Okay. Yes, of course. So first was, what will Powell say during his January press conference, which is on January 28th? I'm just going to pull up Powell's. Any initial thoughts before I actually even say the words?
Well, I mean, I guess he's going to say goodbye. Right, because this is, I think, his last one before he leaves. Maybe there's another one in March. No, it'd be in May. I guess right before he leaves. But I think he's going to say goodbye, or he's going to say, "I'm proud."
Yeah.
Right? Is that an option? Proud of the work I did.
None of those. No.
Proud of the billions of dollars.
Can I tell you what the most, what the ones that are like the high 90s percentages?
What do you got?
Good afternoon.
What time is the press conference? 2 p.m.
It's at 2 p.m. So that would make sense, but I don't know. I think that's risky.
As long as nobody gets to him.
Has he always said good afternoon to start?
Does everybody say good afternoon when they get up in front of the podium?
Expectation is at 96%.
Well, he deals in expectations.
Yeah, it's hard to get away from that one, I guess. The word egg is only at 5% though.
Well, we know why. That's a byproduct of a bygone era, right? When everybody was saying that egg prices are too high, they're too darn high. Yeah, whatever.
Now, some ones that I think are actually, they're closer to the 50-50 range you might be interested in.
What do you got?
Projection. It has to be projection. Can't be project.
Wow, really?
Or projects. It has to be projection.
So, see, projection versus projected makes it very precarious.
It does.
But you know, the reason I think that it's a decent bet, I wouldn't go too heavy on it, is just that, again, everything he talks about is projections, right? And that way they can say whatever they want, and when it doesn't happen, they're like, oh, it was just a projection.
Yeah.
You know, so I would put that at a 30% probability.
Okay. Right now it's at 52. So, pandemic.
Everyone's done with that.
Yeah, right. So I would bet against that probably as well. And then the last one was tariff inflation. So he
Tariffs
goes
out.
meaning he goes against Trump. No, so tariff inflation.
No,
Right?
that's
'Cause
not discussed.
Is that what he's trying to say there? If he does
Is it
say
tariff and inflation or tariff or inflation?
it's actually the term tariff inflation. I say both. At the
No,
same time.
there's not going to happen because what's happened is that when the tariffs first went in place, there was a lot of gloom and doom, right? The stock market dropped for a few days. Everyone said, oh, there goes your retirement. Looks like you're going back to work at the Home Depot, and whatever other nonsense. They were to stop. You know, the stock was prices were going to rise. You were going to have to pay out of pocket, and inflation is going to go out of control.
Yeah.
And none of those things have happened. So there's no utility to Trump's opposition to use those terms anymore. Just like they'll stop talking about Venezuela and Maduro tomorrow, in terms of his being an illegal action, it doesn't work. So no, I would say, can you bet no on that?
Yeah, I think you can. Yes.
And does it have I mean, that's got to be like almost an even mark.
Yeah, you can bet no.
But is there any
For tariff inflation, I mean, if you bet no,
Yeah.
let's say you put $10 on no, they'd pay you $20.
Get the hell out of here. Are you clear on that?
Isn't that nuts?
That is absolutely crazy. By the way, if that's the case, and I'm sure it is because Dave knows this stuff better than I do, if you can bet that he will not say tariff inflation in that order together with nothing in between, tariff inflation, I assure you, I shouldn't say I assure you, but I tell you that is a buy. That is a bet to make.
I just put it.
And I'm going to do the same. So while you're talking, I'm going to put that
All
bet
right,
in.
so I'm
also.
moving us to our new one because I think that's the prime bet right there from that.
Yep.
So this one's a little more fun. What will Gavin Newsom say during his State of the State address, which is on January 8th, by the way, so it's tomorrow, so this will probably not be available to everyone.
So
But
we're talking about Gavin Newsom, present governor of California, the guy with the hair,
yes.
the one that cheated on his best friend with the best friend's wife, and then apologized publicly about it as if he was making a
yes.
declaration of
him, that guy, the next president of the United States.
What? Is that true? Has that been determined? All right, what's the question? What are the mentions that we can choose from here?
Fraud. Which is at
I believe me, he's staying as far away from that word as he possibly
40%.
can. I understand they're trying to buy the Palisades wreckage now to make
now it's possible
housing.
2028/campaign. So basically, he announces his
he
run
stays
for
away from that
presidency,
too. There's too much
early.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I mean, I know that he's technically like basically running, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know if you want to start saying that.
There's too much negativity presently being circulated, probably lies. Okay, about the Democratic Party and corruption, like in Minnesota and wherever else that it's happening. He's not going to be talking about running for president right now because he wants that stuff to clear. He wants to become the sort of clear front runner.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna make that use that word. So wait, can you bet against that?
You could, yeah.
Anything decent?
Yeah. I mean, if you bet no,
Yeah.
$10 would win you 13. So I mean, it's not the worst bet in the world, but
$10
it's not
win you
great.
13. It's 30%.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Let me tell you, getting on it before.
Now, will he mention Maduro? Will he mention Trump?
No. Trump maybe. Maduro definitely not. Just going back to the one that you were talking about with, what was it, fraud? Is that the one we were talking about? Was it? No, it wasn't fraud, was it?
Yeah, fraud. 2028/campaign.
Well, the campaign one. Get in on that one right away because
For no. Yeah.
Yes, because BlackRock's going to jump on that because that's a free money bet.
I guess this one's like actually free money, but you won't make much. If he says the words fire, wildfire, or Palisades.
Imagine him mentioning one of the worst failures of his administration.
He has to.
No way.
That one is very high right now.
It's high for yes?
Yes.
And what's for no?
If you said no, $10 win you 62.
Yo.
$10 win you $62.
Again, in my mind,
you don't think he's gonna mention that? You know, how rude that would be to these people to not mention that.
Do you know who you're talking about? The man went on national television to apologize to the world that he had cheated with his best friend's wife.
Yeah, but he's not gonna say it was a great thing. He's gonna, say it solemnly.
Unfortunately, that has worked very poorly against him. Whoever went on with those fires. I'm not saying that they were set on purposely in order to burn down all those houses and make public housing. I mean, it's something that I see sometimes on Instagram and on the dark side of X.
Yeah.
But there's no way that he brings it up. The celebrities are already jumping ship on him because of that.
I don't see that. But
By the way, I just made my bet on no tariff inflation with Powell.
nice, yes,
Back
and
to
I
Newsom.
did as well. All right, I'm going to take us out of politics for a second because I think this is really important.
Yep.
What will the announcers say during the Los Angeles Chargers at New England professional football game? I don't know why they word it this way, but anyway, what are the announcers going to say during the Patriots Chargers game? I'm going with Tom Brady again.
Don't they say it don't they start off the broadcast with saying, and this is in honor of Tom Brady?
This seems impossible to ignore, especially because the last time that the Chargers and the Patriots played in the playoffs, Tom Brady was the quarterback. So
Wow.
it's like,
There's comparisons to be made between Drake May and Tom Brady anyway, isn't there?
of course.
I mean, this guy's on fire.
So that's at 60%. I think you should just take that.
So we're taking a yes on Tom Brady being mentioned at the next Patriots game by the announcers on public television.
Which is
I
on
guess, or
Sunday
whatever it
night.
is.
I mean, I just cannot see them getting away from
I
that.
agree. I think this is one where we agree.
Yeah.
That is an absolute buy. Get in quick because once people hear us saying this, that's the odds are gonna change dramatically.
What do you got?
We are talking about mentions.
Yes.
Okay, I can't get away from it. I swear to God, this is the last time I'm going to bring this up on our program, at least until next week. What will BlackRock say during their next earning calls? I have that they will say stablecoin, and they will also say crypto or Bitcoin. Okay, so it's stablecoin alone. Stablecoin alone is a yes, and they will either say crypto or Bitcoin or both, and I have that as a yes. And the reason is because they're going to have to explain why it is that Bitcoin is now a stable coin at $100 value.
Got
Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I don't need to go address it any further. And you guys, whatever, you say what you got to say to me. I don't care. What will Kathy Hochul say during State of the State address for New York State? I don't know when it is, but I'm sure it's this month. I'm saying that she's going to say tax on tips. Okay, and that's a 10%. I said yes. 10% payout. So if you bet 10, you win 11.
Okay.
100, 110. And the reason I'm saying yes is because I think that there was a lot of heat for her in that she did not join Trump in this no tax on tip at the federal level. So servers and the people, of course, that she holds most dear in her party that received tips were angry. So I think that she's going to present it. They don't say she has to present it as her own idea that inspired Trump to do it, but I think that's the way it will be presented.
Get in. Yeah.
3, what will Mamdani say during his next announcement? Just like the next time he speaks, I guess, publicly.
That could
I
have
don't know.
already happened.
I don't know what constitutes an announcement, but it was either Maduro or Venezuela. It's a conjoined. Okay, it's one or the other. And I said that he will say it because and it pays 150%. So $10 wins 15.
Because he's brave, right? He wants to go against.
It's not just that he's brave. I don't
and-
think he understands. Nobody gives a crap about what he thinks about what is going on with Venezuela. He said that he's going to, after he got briefed by his own people about what was going on in Venezuela, and believe me, I like this guy. I think he's charismatic. I think he's good looking. And I think that he's got great ideas. But he said that he was briefed and that he will be giving further instructions to New Yorkers about how to deal with the fact that we went and arrested a narco-terrorist in Venezuela.
Yeah.
What does the mayor of New York have to do with that? And why would the people of New York, unless you were going to talk about the protesters that came out and said we shouldn't go get Maduro and reinstate him as the mayor supported.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I would have, if I was him, I would have said, these are the directions. Don't do that because no one cares. No one cares. As a matter of fact, most people like the idea of going and getting narco-terrorists who have killed your neighbor's children with fentanyl. All right, so moving on. We got. I'm serious what I'm saying, but I know that people don't like it when I get serious. So I'm trying to be less than completely serious.
Anything else in our mentions?
No, not mentioned. Sorry. You want to move on to the next segment here? We've got about 5 minutes. Can we do that?
Low on time here, so sure. Culture shock, cultural bets.
Yes, I love those. These are my favorites. I don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't either. What do you want to start off with your nominations here?
Sure. Oscar nomination for Best Picture. So just being nominated for Best Picture. Amazingly, there were only 3 or 4 that were like really like strong as having to be nominated. I think there's 7 nominations per category, something like that. I put F1.
Have you seen the movie?
I did see this movie. Many of those movies I didn't see, by the way. But I chose F1, and the reason was because I thought it was great. I love the lead actors, which are Brad Pitt, and his name escapes me, the kid from Snowfall, grown man from Snowfall. Great actor. I mean, one of the best actors. And he's British, by the way, which is amazing to me because he played an L.A. gang guy. And I mean, that was one of the best performances. If he didn't win an award for that, he should have. And I'm so sorry that I can't remember his name, but I think he's only done that in F1.
So he's 670%.
670%. Wow. Could you imagine? You bet $10, you win $67, $100, $670, $1,000.
It's crazy.
6,700, 1,000. I don't know what. Anyway, it's a big number, and I think it should win. Should be nominated certainly. I have somebody else for winning. Do you want me to finish this out?
Sure.
And Oscar for Best Picture, Marty Supreme. And the reason I chose Marty Supreme, I have not seen the movie. However, it's been heavily suggested to me to see it.
Yeah.
It's at 1,300%.
Wow.
Which I think means $1 wins 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Or 10's 130, whatever it is. And just on that basis alone, the other reason is I just feel that this is a come from behind year. 2026 is going to be the year that
the underdog.
The underdog wins.
Perfect.
What do you got? Culture shock. What shocked me?
Who will host the 68th Grammy Awards? I also don't know when the Grammys are.
Neither do I.
And I don't.
What
watch
do the
them
Grammys
ever.
celebrate anyway? Because I haven't even watched it like 30
I don't even.
years.
I don't know.
I haven't watched any award show in decades.
So Grammys for music, right? And
Grammys, I
and
believe, is
Oscars
music.
for movies.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
Grammys is the culmination
Because I don't
of
watch this stuff at all.
of the MTV Awards and the Country Music Awards and the West Coast, East Coast. All those awards come together and you get the Grammys.
Wow.
What do you got?
A lot.
Who do you think is going to?
So-
This is for the host.
Yeah, it's for the host. So Trevor Noah is the overwhelming favorite, about 75%.
Tell you what, I love that guy.
Really, you like Trevor Noah?
I love. What do you mean now? The first time I was introduced to Trevor Noah is he was doing the Daily Show, formerly hosted by Jon Stewart on Comedy Central, and I used to love Jon Stewart on that, and then I used to love Steve Colbert when he was on that show doing his conservative thing. I thought that was really him, by the way. I didn't know when he went to the Tonight Show or whatever he's doing, the weird show that he does, that he's a
flip it
complete.
on, yeah.
I mean, he's a great guy, I guess, and he seems very compassionate, but he seems to be delusional about how the world works outside of Hollywood and the billionaire class and the multimillionaire class. But Trevor Noah, so he did a joke where when Trump was first elected, and he used to say, lock her up about Hillary Clinton. And then his first rally after he was elected, I'm not sure if he was president yet, I don't think he was still doing the rallies because he loved it, and the people loved it. And he had this rally, probably tens of thousands of people. I think it was a full stadium, right? Filled with people. And he's like, everyone starts going like, lock her up. And he goes, yeah, imagine. That was fun, wasn't it? Saying that, if it was funny, now we're moving on. And Trevor Noah goes, everyone in there must have been like, what? Wait, were we in on this? Like, I thought it was one of the best
a really good moment.
jokes
That
ever.
was
Maybe we
funny.
can get that clip up
Yeah, we gotta
under
show that. That's
fair
funny.
use doctrine.
Yeah.
So you think Trevor Noah is the guy?
It seems like it, but the runner-up right now is Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon will not do it.
Why?
Because Jimmy Fallon has exited political speak. After seeing what happened to Steve Colbert,
that's true.
after seeing that, what's his name, the other guy, Jimmy Kimmel, I want to say Jimmy Kimmel kind of got spanked. He got spanked. And he thinks he came back bigger and stronger, but that's like the little kid who comes back and says, I'm not going to say I'm sorry, but okay, I acknowledge it, whatever. So Jimmy Kimmel Jimmy Kimmel got spanked. Steve Colbert got fired.
Yep.
And Jimmy Fallon, by the way, who I hear is a really super nice guy. And, if you'll remember in the first Trump campaign, he tugged on Trump's hair and proved that it was real, contradicting the theory that it was not. And he got lambasted for it. He almost got thrown off the air because of it. So this guy, if he's smart, he stays out of it because I think he's a good guy. I'd love to meet Jimmy Fallon. I love his ride down in Universal Studios. He has that little ride through New York City.
Yeah.
Fantastic, funny as anything. I think it's great. Okay, so who are you thinking? Because that's inconclusive.
Trevor. I think Trevor Noah seems like the favorite. I wish it would be Jimmy Fallon, but
no, I like that guy Trevor. I mean, he's become really like anti-Trump because he must have gotten a little trouble too for sort of being playful with the idea of it. But I like that guy. I wouldn't mind it. Anybody else that's up for it? And this is the Grammys.
That's like, I think they take up 96%.
What about Ricky Gervais?
Between the two,
they couldn't tolerate Ricky Gervais because you know what it is. Because you know what it is. The problem why Ricky Gervais couldn't do it is because when he did it at the Academy Awards, where he like really took the people there, the actors and actresses and producers and the whole of Hollywood to task, basically saying you're a bunch of spoiled brats or whatever, which I don't agree with necessarily, but I'm just saying he said it. I mean, it was funny at the time because it seemed to ring true, but I'm not saying that it is. The actors can see, they can pretend like it doesn't bother them. So when they pan to the audience, they kind of look, they smile. Musicians don't have that self-control. I mean, look at Kanye West.
True.
You know, look at Britney Spears. You know, you look at these people, they're loose cannons. If he went up there and started saying, like, you guys are a bunch of spoiled brats, and yes, you have great talent, no doubt, but you don't know what's going on in the real world and how it is that those of us that are participating in the real world have to exist, and we have to go to work, and you sing songs that, you know, touch us, but they don't mean anything to you because you have everything. They can't handle it. They start freaking out. I think the place would
erupt.
And if it's in LA, it might catch fire. I don't know. It might catch fire. I don't.
A little too soon.
You know what? I agree. I want to apologize for that, but I'm going to take the Jimmy Kimmel approach and just simply say, let's move on. All right, we are sort of out of time. Do you have anything pressing that you want to talk about? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. If I dominate, I apologize if I was talking too much. But you see how fast I'm speaking, so I'm trying to say the same amount of things, but with less time.
That's good.
But you do have one thing I want to talk about on our agenda. Should be there every week. Head to head, the battle between the Daves.
Yes,
and I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
The one that I thought was really cool. And I like this. I like the fact that you're restricting it, because if we're thinking the same way that we have to go another route, who would be and this is all Dave, who would be the Republican nominee for 2028? But the twist is we weren't allowed to say J.D. Vance. And not that I necessarily would. Kidding, J.D. I know you're going to be the guy. And if you're not the guy, I'm kidding that you're going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to play the middle like everybody else.
Yeah.
All right?
So
that was great.
We'll take that up next time. Oh, don't forget, we have our live event.
When is it?
Coming up. I don't know.
So we're going to do a live event for the State of the Union address by the President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief, recently victorious warrior in Venezuela, which we're so proud of him for that, except that, of course, we don't like the idea of you going and taking a narco-terrorist out of his bedroom with his wife and putting him on trial in New York, in Mamdani's New York. How dare you? But yeah, so that's going to be great. State of the Union, it could be coming up really soon. I don't know. It could be tomorrow, honestly.
Whenever it is, we'll be live.
We will be live from wherever it is that we are. We don't know what platform we'll be on, but it's going to be great.
Yes.
Dave, thank you so much for getting us organized here.
Yeah,
I think the show was the best we've ever done.
Wow. Means a lot.
And you know what, Dave? I think we have to end every show with, I love you, son.
Yeah, I love you too.
Don't say it like you're uncomfortable. And we love you guys. Comment away. Say whatever you want. I will comment back. Do not cry when I do. In happiness or sadness or horror. Goodbye.